the things that you do, 3 things that you do practically and consistently that have gotten you to where you are quickly?
One is to sell. I sell every day. Every moment I get, I sell. Secondly, to be honest to your customers. It's very, very important to be honest and deliver in time. Delivering in time, it's difficult, but you have to do it. And then you said 3. I deal with 2. I do 2 things.
Okay, all right. I would like to open it up. Just 2 hands, 2 questions. 2 quick questions. Yes, I see my sister. I see my sister as well. Please, can we get the mic? Yeah, Ngolumne again.
Hi, hello. I'd like to ask a question. Are you marketing your product internationally?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, if you talk about Facebook, the platform that I was talking about, they are international. But again, like I was saying, my focus now is it's Eastern Cape. Imagine having to go and get the licensing for exporting the product, and whereas I have not finished South Africa, so I still need to work here, and obviously, I'm going to the business eventually is going to go there, because
Can we talk
are
after?
building.
Can we talk after?
No problem.
Okay,
There will be
sure.
a networking session.
Yes,
We will
yeah.
network. No
All right,
problem.
no, it's fine. Thank you.
Can we get the mic to the lady in the black?
Abafethu banomona. Why is ngekho izandla?
Yes, the last question, please. Mic.
Mawala bhuti, molweni ke. Cela ubuza bhuti.
Yes, sis.
Ndingumdidiyeli weTibheki, ndingumfama.
Tipek.
Ndenza iTibheki yezigulo zonke. Uyazi njani uba iproduct yakho iready uba ingaya ezizweni? Because ndiyoyika mina ndisaphelele apha ebantwini aba-around mna. Even though i-feedback ezibuya batsho ngiyasiphilisa, nami ndikunika ndiyazi batsho uzawuphila. But andikafiki kwesa stage soba ndifane nawe, because ndifuna ufana nawe. Xa uyazi njani uba ngoku ungayisa ezizweni?
Already. Isezizweni. David, I says this way, Zand hesitate. I says this way immediately. What you need to do, you need to take the reviews, like I was saying, screenshot the reviews. Don't take verbal reviews. Take the what you call the text or WhatsApp reviews. Screenshot them. Put them on your social media page. Create a what you call a Facebook page, a business page, in fact, that you will be using to put those testimonials. I started by posting. I'm no longer posting now. Post those testimonials. Then you will create what is called a value chain. You must have a courier company that is going to take your product to other people. That's what I do also. I work with a courier company that is very, very reliable to me. Then you will use those things, all those sort of things to distribute your product and market your product. But you are ready to work. If you get the reviews, then you are ready to work. Make sure that you send what you call, you do the posting that I'm talking about.
All right, my brother, the last one, please, from you. Then we close it here. Ubandi is still here, so you'll get an opportunity to network with him during the networking session. And his products are also at the back, so we can wrap it up. Over to you, brother.
Okay, thank you so much, man. I just have one question, sir. What kept you going when you had nothing? What was your motivation? Yeah, thank you.
My family, bro, my kids, my wife, my mother, and everything that surrounds me. I wanted to build a financial freedom for my family. So every day when I wake up, do the job, I need to make sure that my family gets food on the table. No one is employed at home. So this is the only source of income that we have. So it's important for me to always work on it and make sure that it's working.
Sure.
Thank you so much. All right. While we're getting the photo of Ubandile, asimshayeleni izandla futhi. Thank you so much, my brother. And here's a gift. You didn't get the picture? All right. You happy with the picture? Okay. So I see there's a lot of hands. Nisafuna ukubuza. He is still here. We'll get it time to network with him. But we really, really appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so, so much. Yeah, I think you'd have to go with him. La hamba khona na umlandele. This product was nowhere, and now where it is. You know, it reminded me of the song Started From the Bottom. And now we're here. And it's inspiring for every single one of us. You sitting here, good down, nothing zofik. But we need to learn from the best, right? Fantastic. You enjoying? We're still together? Fantastic. Still loving the energy. Right, we're going to have a sit down now. Sis Pilisa Titus, please can you come on stage for our sit down? Kala simshayile nizandla, we'll get to know from her. Yeah, but love. Asimshayile nizandla. Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. And doesn't she look incredible? All right, can we get you the mic? All right.
Thank you. Can I just say something before you start? I'm so amazed, because just this past week, I'm talking to a close friend of mine. Ndikhumbula ubrother wam owaswelekayo in, I think, 2016. And I'm talking, I don't know what made me think of this memory. Ndibali saying, hey, I remember my mom telling a story about how my little brother, I think he was, I don't know what age he was, but he was still an infant. So I am so incredibly just amazed to be bumping into Umkaya up. But bandile upi.
So your thing is,
What a pleasure to hear his story. And Mazi. But so I think it's a bit, is it fine? My mic? Yeah. But you can continue. Okay. So I'm talking now about, my mom had an issue. Okay. Dibali seke to this friend of mine, but my mom, I remember telling us a story that when my brother was very young, wake wamxaka engaguli kuthiwa ke uthi engatyi uthi ke kwaweske ngokungale mini where he was gasping for breath. So she tells the story uthi she didn't know what to do. She ran out of the house, went to estratweni uthi kwafika utata wathi hey mandukhawulise kulomuntu uthengisa iyeza leplate. Ndithi hayi mani yintoni lento yanamhlanje. I don't know if ngumama kabandile lo wanceda ubrother wam. But for me it's such a touching day. Xa ndizawuthetha ndive esi story, this amazing story of growth from this gentleman uBandile. Bandile, I look forward to meeting you further. Thank you.
1, 2. All right, so just briefly read your bio. So people know the incredible and powerful woman that you are. Pilisa Titus is the managing director of BS Titus Holdings, where she oversees and manages a commercial office and retail real estate portfolio with a focus on asset management. Her strategic leadership has driven 130% growth in the value of portfolio over the last 14 years. Bakhuluma ngama percentage. Prior to working there, she worked in the Investec Private Bank Wealth, managing investments for high net worth individuals with over 13 billion. And her latest acquisition, this I found really, really mind-blowing. Her latest acquisition of the Sasol fuel station in Engcobo is a significant milestone in her career. I think that deserves a round of applause. So we're going to have a conversation, open heart-to-heart conversation. What's your story? Why entrepreneurship?
Sure. I'll be very honest. I've heard of inspiring stories of how people enter the world of entrepreneurship, but mine is not too conventional. I think because I was loving my job in the corporate world at Investec. I had so many aspirations for growth, wanted to study further and really just, grow in the investment banking space. But as it were, utata ke ebekhe wanempilo erongo ke at the time when he was living. So in 2009, and funny enough, it was during the financial crisis as well. So my parents approach me and they say, hey, we need one of you girls who have studied commerce. That is my sister and I. Guys, think about leaving your jobs. Because now Tata had received a kidney transplant. But ke ngoku usifake impela ke ngoku kwizinto and zikhona izinto ezinamagingxigingxi. There are things that are really of huge concern that the business was going through a lot of difficulty. Athi ke kukho ke phofu ke isaso garage at the time in the family. Mandithethe loo nto. So, I decided, you know what, it's in the middle of a financial crisis. There are not going to be any bonuses in the corporate, in the investment banking space. I can go there for a couple of years, and then I can come back. And I had a lot of support from my manager at the time. I was in the wealth management space, so I was looking after investments for high net worth individuals. You had to have, our target market was investable assets of 25 million per person. So I got to see wealth in South Africa. And for me, I think going back home was, Dinalando, Dinomunyu, Dita Aman. I need to also see how I can go back home and impart something, and to try and sort of get people to start thinking in terms of how we can really start gathering wealth and making the right decisions to go that way. So it was a short-term thing coming here, and indeed it was very, very tough. I know we'll talk about that, but I never ever imagined that I would still be here, but it turned out to be destiny.
Wow. Bandile early on was asked the question about, when you're on your journey of entrepreneurship, there are so many things that you go through. What has kept you inspired in your journey? And what keeps you going even today?
Guys, it's very simple. I think a lot of us in business will connect on this one, that in business you have a lot of sleepless nights. But I think a lot of people will say, but wena ufikele kwi-business ibisiqaliwe. But there is nothing as heavy as the weight of ilegacy yomntu. Heavy bantu basekhaya kakhulu, because if you start your own business, at least your mistakes are yours. No one is affected. But if into yomntu, you best believe that you don't only have to answer to yourself, but you have to answer to the people. She always asks me things so what were you talking about here? There are people that I am answerable to, but I'm also answerable to the community who have such an attachment to this legacy. I am answerable to the staff, the most precious resource that we have. Those people are connected to this business from a financial reliability point of view. These people rely on this business staying afloat and being healthy and growing. So I'm passionate about impacting people's lives. So that's what really keeps me going. Yeah.
Sure. Hello?
I think that one is flat. Do you want to?
1, 2. All right, we'll use this one. I think we can give a round of applause before we move on to our next question. Thank you for your honesty. And every day, we're having to make decisions every day. What are some of the most challenging decisions? I know you've had to make a lot. Give us two of the most challenging decisions you've ever had to make, and how did you strategically approach those challenges?
Look, when I arrived in the family business, it was a portfolio of assets, let me say. So there's the property side, and there was the retail side, and there was a Cecil, there was a food franchise, there was a cars and spare parts issue. And I sat with my father in 2000. I arrived in late 2009. And we had some hard calls. We had to make some hard decisions, rope in the family and align with one another in terms of which assets are we going to let go of. And ours was not to say, siyavala, we've given up. My dad used to say, I will work for the rest of my life. I will rest when I die. I tend to believe in that. So ours was to say, you know what, let us be strategic. Sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take a couple of steps forward. By not being in a position where you are disinvesting out of assets when banks are behind your back, and or creditors are behind your back, when you take that step proactively and say, okay, let me disinvest out of this right now and be able to settle my creditors, etc., so that I don't go into like liquidation, bankruptcy or whatever, file for bankruptcy. There's no shame in that. But what I'm trying to say, if you take matters into your hands, let me take this step in order to have a chance at growth again. I think that was one of the most responsible and hard decisions that we've had to take.
Later on, we're going to have a networking session where entrepreneurs will meet other entrepreneurs, and about the importance of building relationships, because business is about people. It's relationships. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs in the room today on how to leverage, how to network, how to build relationships practically?
Someone said something, I'm not sure if it was Uput Bandile. Someone said, doing the simple things. Relationships are built through honesty, transparency, establishing that trust. People are more able to open up to you when they see you're being authentic. I believe that. I think one of the best ways to impress people is just to be yourself. So I have so many incredible stories of how networking, the kind of networking that starts with simple conversations, sort of results in opportunities and doors opening. Andina race guys. I network wherever. And I don't say, I'm a shy person, mind you. I'm very shy. I prefer intimate sort of circles, one-on-one, interactions. But I do understand that part of my journey requires me to sit like this. So I would do little things, such as, if ndise doing groceries, ndisifundise ndandisha nyani ndingakwazi uthetha nomuntu endingamqhelanga. I reach out to the cashier and start a conversation. Unjani wethu, you akuseshushu ntoni. Apha ke Eastern Cape, we are very good at that. We are very good at ungamazi umuntu ufika kukho umama olapha ecangu kwakho athi chi yalo mntana khini uyandisokolisa. Iqala conversation about mothering or abantwana or how we are raising abantwana. Anikhange ni exchange names or amagama, but you are just having a conversation at the side of the bus station, in the taxi, in the grocery store, epos, in wherever. So those are the kinds of interactions that I really enjoy, and I really can say that they have rendered so much return in terms of what they have done for me as in business. Maybe later on, if you require that of me, I will give you an example of that kind
Go,
of.
go ahead. It's at the top
Okay,
of your
yeah,
mind, so shoot.
One of my favorite stories, guys. In fact, I have two. Manqale apha in this room. You see that gentleman over there, Mr. Bass, from Cecil. Bekungekho lula ke ngokube ndiqala ke Sasol. Sasol is a big organization. I was scared. I was scared. Ndinalento yam ke ndisoke ndithetha kum ndithi if you're scared of something, do it scared anyway. Just do it scared. So ndiyafika ke ngoku eSasol. But mind you, our site had been standing, still for quite some time. Inga trade. So we'd lost quite a bit of market share. The volumes were low when we started. As volumes up again, but we've made steady progress. But it was hard for me to buy a truck full of fuel. I didn't know about yenzwa njani. Uzayithatha phi le mali ifunwa yi-truck fuel ndizazi that I am only selling X amount of liters per week. Yeah, nthatha 2 weeks le truck full, le truck full, and I have to pay this fuel, right? I was stuck. I started reaching out to dealers. And hike up the hike is fuel up But really, you have to try anything. But it wasn't until I met, and this is why I think there is such a connection that I feel about Cecil as a company. Because I met this gentleman, Mr. Tony Bay, sitting right here. And he reasoned. He said, he told me the honesty, look, we're going to have to get you to buy a truck full. However, I understand you make some compelling, points. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to, we need to structure a motivation to get a truck down here, for a certain period of time. That man has partnered with Sasol Ngcobo from the day of inception. I have profound respect for him. I have such profound respect for Sasol as an organization. Ndingaqale ndithi Sasol as a brand, but bandiqale ndithi Sasol as an organization, because an organization is into yabantu. It's about people. This company is very, very, and I haven't been asked to talk about this because Sasol is here, but I really want to share why, why I'm touched by, this gathering as well. So there is such an intentionality about respecting people. There is such an intentionality and commitment to being mindful of the environment. And it's educating Gelando. Because we don't know, global warming, we don't know what how we have participated in messing up the environment. But when you listen to our retail engagements, when you listen to people speaking with such passion and urgency, but speaking with such passion about respecting the customer, respecting people, respecting themselves, I think, for me, it just speaks to those key principles and values that I have, in my heart as well. I hope I've answered. No, I can derail, guys. Just be patient with me. Yeah.
So, we're told, start small, think big. Have a 5-year plan, have a 10-year plan, and at times it's difficult to see where that 5 or 10 years is.
Yeah.
What thinking framework do you use to come up with that 5-year, 10-year plan?
Yeah, you're right when you say think small, break it up. So remember, I said that when I came back, the family business was in great distress, or not great distress, but we had to make some tough calls. And my short-term strategies were, okay, let's augment the property portfolio, because this I'm going to have to leverage from for other opportunities, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's relook at our tenant mix. Let's understand that we have, we don't have a choice, we have to grow. So we need to attract those conversations, Jay. And our value, our valuer, a guy called Alan Moyes, he does valuations. I used to get involved in debates. I come from a finance background, so I like understanding how assets are valuated, right? So now go ati this building value yayo this we are Ellen ayiyo. This is what it should be. And we have these robust debates. And through that, a relationship was formed. Alan introduces me to a Diane Jolly, Nedbank, PE. The rest was history. From that relationship, I was able to, and by that point, you must remember, these short-term, medium-term, started augmenting properties, started, fixing up our leases, etc., meeting people, and these little steps that you break up, suddenly, by the time the Cecil opportunity happens, you're ready. You're ready. The assets that you want to gear are there. You're able to go for those opportunities.
Sure. Yeah, you can give a round of applause. Entrepreneurship is a mind game. That's what I believe. If you can win it in the mind, because that's where it all starts, right? And having, just read your bio and your accomplishments and the people that you've worked with, what are some of the common mindset characteristics that you've put out that separate an ordinary entrepreneur from the best?
Sure, that's a tough one. I would say, I think, I once heard something, I think a decade ago, and it said, if entrepreneurs are people who are generally dissatisfied with the status quo. This reminds me of, how did you start Titus House commercial building when I was doing the remodeling, which shot the value up, right? I had a short stint at architecture. We said, we're going to speak transparently. I failed my first year. I was deregistered from UCT. I had to go and find a new career, which became BCom Finance. Guys, these, I love what you said, Puti. We learn. We make these mistakes and we learn, right? And so I didn't know how to go about any kind of construction project. I don't want to jump all over the place, but there's also a beautiful story around the person that helped me do this development. So I didn't know how to go about. I knew that I needed to remodel the space. It was a space, 800 square meter space. There's no market for this. I need to chop it up, but I want to do something interesting, right? But I feel out of my depth. So it was this, just looking outside of yourself and trying to see how do I carry out, how do I execute this project, going to people that can assist you. I never imagined that I would actually, be able to put together a space like that and say, this is, where valuers can come in and say, I know there's an A grade, but there's another grade that was like really impressive to them. But, they said, this space is honestly a very, you've done an amazing job with the space. So I would say that I think that mindset of telling yourself that I don't like the space the way that it is. I also don't like the fact that buildings there to in rural economies or rural environments are not cared for. They don't represent what we want, or they don't mirror the direction that we want to travel in. So I began that project of asset, improvement, investing in these spaces, because I strongly believe that people are impacted by their environments, and the environment is also the architecture, the buildings, Yeah.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And, we cannot finish off this conversation before you share your final words without talking about dealing with failure and being rejected. Because it's what, that's how do you practically deal with rejection your way? How have you dealt with it?
It's going to seem like I'm not being real about how tough rejection is. Do it again. It's as simple as that. Do it again and again and again until you don't actually fear rejection. And just then, that's when, that's when you look back and you say, when before Nedbank, approved our funding, I had been knocking on the doors of different investors, financing houses, banks, etc., for so long. And then I kind of thought, please, yes, you were in banking, but you were in the wealth management space. I wasn't doing deals, lending deals, etc. But go and find out. Go and find out what you need, how you need to position your deal in order for you to get some success. And it actually wasn't too many things. And you know what, by the way? Those failures, whether it's a proposal, whether it's that business plan, remember that there's nothing as sweet for me as going into my computer and nangona zange ivunywe endaweni ethile ndake nayibhala uyithathe kuloo folder and do it again. Yeah.
Powerful. We could give a round of applause. It's going to be my last one before I open it up to the public. And family, coming from families that don't understand entrepreneurship, being in relationships with people who don't know the way that you're thinking and why, Bandile spoke about it as well. Like, they don't understand. They think that you're crazy. And sometimes they say hurtful things. How do you, those words, those negative naysayers, negative words, how do you deal with them practically? Then we're going to open it up to the floor.
Guys, we are not robots. We are human beings. We're allowed to feel, and we're allowed to be hurt. But that's just an emotion. How you then deal with it, how you then, if you have conviction about what you're doing. I always say I am more scared of not doing something because I'm scared than I am of failing at that thing, right? So people won't see your vision. And by the way, the vision I fikelanga bona, I fikele wena. So and vision, I think by its nature, I think it's supposed to be contested and challenged. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when people don't necessarily share your vision. So it's a tough journey. But I see a room of people. Kwaba nibe lapha ningabikho kwenye indawo nithi ayindidiniwe. I see a people that have that resilience.
Sure. All right, so just 3 questions. My brother, your hand was up before I even said questions. 1. Last one? Okay, we'll take the 2.
Good day, everyone. My name is Viwe Teko, and I am Induna of Solve Processing. What we do at Solve Processing is we process industrial hemp for fiber production. Now, I just have a statement before I have a question, Siswam, in which I came halfway to what you were saying, but I resonated with what you said. And I have this fear of, I've failed so much that now once I have a taste of success, there comes that fear now of what do I do? So how do you get to handle something like that? And also with my statement, I would like to let the people know that I am looking for people who would participate in this hemp industry. It's a very new industry. It just opened up and there's many possibilities, guys. If there's anything that you would like to add onto the industry, please just hit me up. Here am I. I'm also on Facebook as well. And
That's why we have the networking.
and same
They're
name
gonna
on-
come
on
straight
all
to you.
platforms. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, my brother. All right, you want to take it before we?
Yes, please.
We can. All right.
Yeah, it's such a valid, you know, it's not an emotion, but I think it's a reality. You have that anxiety about pursuing things because you keep looking back, and I think that's the main issue. You're looking back. Every chance to try again is a new chance. You know, I would really encourage you to also surround yourself around people that, you know, are very strong in that regard, very, you know, good motivators. Perhaps, I mean, I know nowadays, you know, people have life coaches, etc. You can approach someone, an accountability partner, just to help you to get through that loop. Write down your goals and say, you know, I want to push this business to this point in this financial year, but I am struggling to actually move towards that point. I would say reach out to someone who's going to be that accountability partner that you can now say, make me account to these goals that it's a difficult one, but I would encourage you to just keep pushing.
Keep pushing. All right. One last question, my sister. Your name and straight to the question, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayamgela Nanise. I am a digital content creator. I'm also working one of the leading health research institute in Africa. One of the questions that I would like to ask, since you have been working for one of the two big companies, what are some of the key skills or knowledge that has helped you flourish in this between the organizations?
Thank you. Thanks, San. I would say, it's different, qualities that I think you gain from different experiences. When I was still in corporate, I learned how to negotiate. You know, I was very much trying to push products, etc., and convince people, and and my goodness, but my time in the Eastern Cape has been a school, of many, many lessons. It's so difficult to reduce them to a few, but what I will say is that navigating different cultures. You know, you come from a city, yes, but you go to, you work in Cape Town, you spend a lot of time away from your hometown, you learn things in a certain way. You come back home and I'm aloof when I say it's a bit of a culture shock, but it actually is. You are having to understand how things are done here. So being able to be flexible, being able to be agile, you know, and ukwazi into yokokuba uthi xa imeko inje, then I need to, respond in this way. So it's been an I've been learning ever since I got here.
Sure. All right. Unfortunately,
Time's up.
if there was never such a thing as time, I have to wrap up the conversation. I want to say a big thank you. We really, really appreciate it. Tell us some shine. He's going to put our hands together. We have a gift for you. And before we get the gift, okay.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so before, ne?
Yeah.
I'm going to need two pictures, ne?
Okay.
One standing straight there. All right, Mkala Simshayele Nizandla. So we'll get one without the mic. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the mic now. And when you look straight into that camera, you need to give that smile when you've purchased your second. That's all. There. That's the smile. Thank you so much. Your closing final words to the entrepreneurs here.
Yeah, I kind of thought, what would I be maybe remembered for? What would I like to be remembered for? And I think I would love to be in a society where we are starting to think that we would rather be remembered not only for the things that we build, but also for how we have positively impacted the people that build things. Thank you. Yes, come, sweetheart.
Mother and daughter. So online audience as well. I know we still have our online audience. What were some of your key takeaways from our presentation? Please, can you share them online? What did you learn? What did you take away? And we look forward to hearing from you. Now, we are going into networking. Can I see by show of hands if you came alone? Yeban. Baban Ben. All right, so this part of the session really is just about networking. You come here alone, but you leave as a family. You come alone, you leave with potential business partners. This is what it's about. It's about connecting each other. So we're going to network. You're going to meet at least 5 different new people today, or even more. What I'd like you to do, firstly, your belongings. Isn't there any? Or your notepads, your cell phones. Please look after your belongings. All right? The second row is going to stand up and network with the row at the back. So that means that the third row doesn't move. Because we tried this once and everyone was facing that way. So second row, please can you stand? And third row, and then turn around. Third row, you can also just stand. So you will network. No, that's the third row. Then the fourth row was, you will network with me. That's the fourth row. Network with the row behind you. All right? Please, I don't want to see you by yourself. Gents, you stand up and you'll network with the row behind you. Yeah. Network, introduce yourself for the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's about meeting someone new. Please don't move the furniture. Don't move the chair. Network. Now is your chance. Pitch your business. Tell people who you are. Let's network. Let's network, mother entrepreneurs. I don't want to see you alone. Ngingakubona uyedwa. Exchange contact details for the next 10 to 15 minutes. 1 minute down, 9 to go. 1 minute down, 9 to go. We've also got some great small business exhibitors in the house. Nedbank bankers, Cherry Vehicles, SARS, CEDA, Department of Labor, Triple BEE Commission, and small businesses who are exhibiting. So we'll get an opportunity to go and see my exhibitor and see what they have in store for us. I'm loving what I'm seeing. A minute and a half down, exchanging contact details. Pitch your business. Ubani ubuya uyenzani? Sizosebenza kanjani? Let's go. Two minutes down, 2.5 minutes down. When you are done with one, move to the other. At least 5 new people. At the least, get 5. When you are done, move to the next circle. Move to the next individual. Online audience, we are networking. What is it about? It's about building relationships. It's about meeting new people. It's about finding out what people do. Business opportunities are being discussed. Khuluma ngama business. Once you are done, move to the next one. My brother, grow that advanced tutoring company. Go and meet more new people. At least 5 new people, at least 5, at least 5. We're networking, we're networking, we're networking. Abo mama bam. Abo mama bam sanbonan. Awudala nhlelo kule stulu. Please do not go. We're still going to announce the pitch winner. We've still got an incredible Mbawula chat. We've got lunch. Ningahambi. We're networking. A few more minutes to go. A few more minutes to go. We're networking. Motherwell. Township entrepreneurs. Let's go. I gave you a target of 5. All right, a few more minutes left. When you get time, also please go see the exhibitors. Nyankela, please go see the exhibitors as well. We've got the incredible, great small business exhibitors outside. Iconic, because we've got Cherry Vehicles. SARS is also there. CEDA is also there. Department of Labor is also there. Triple BE Commission is also there. Bakhona ngaphandle, they are here exhibiting. When you get an opportunity, please go and see them. Meanwhile, please continue networking. I gave you a target of 5 people. How many people have you met? Let's continue networking. A few more minutes left. A few more minutes left. Go to your person. Go to that individual. Lo saba kuya kuye. Iya kuye. I don't want to see you by yourself. Ngingakuboni uyedwa. Fantastic. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. At the back, we've got our exhibitors there as well. Get an opportunity to ask them about their products. Take a picture, tag them on social media, show them love. Asibabonise uthando. Hashtag join us for tea. Hashtag together Bekelebek. A few more minutes left. We're networking. At least a target of 5. Our exhibitors at the back. Let's show them some love as well. Asibabonise uthando. Tag them on social media. Show some love. If you get an opportunity, you can go outside and check out the cherry cars. Mawufika lapha, go and ask for Ulisa. Credible gentleman who knows so much about the products. Please, 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 let's see our exhibitors as well. Outside the cherry vehicles, Ulisa is there to assist you. Three more minutes left. 3 more minutes left, and then Sesi Abuya, we've got Mbaula chat. We announce the winner, we have lunch, and then it's a wrap. Hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together Bekele Beke. As you see our exhibitors, as Bulelani said earlier, if you don't have imali yokuthenga, a photo, a tag on social media would be much appreciated. Let's show our township entrepreneurs some love. Danko. 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes and then siyabuya. 2 more minutes. Let's start making our way back. Let's start making our way back. All right, thank you so much. Please, can we come back inside? Ngicela singene ngaphakathi. All right, thank you so much. Please, can we take our seats? Ngicela sihlaleni phansi. Ngicela sihlaleni phansi, ngicela sihlaleni phansi. If we're outside, please just come inside. Ngiyacela, ngicela sihlaleni phansi. Thank you so much. Ngicela sihlaleni phansi so we can continue with the program. Your seat where you were before. Please, 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 please assist. Ngicela sihlaleni phansi. Thank you for your help, sir. Thank you so much to every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bengicela sihlaleni phansi. Please, can we have a seat so we can continue with the program? We would like to continue with the program, so please can we sit down also at the back there by the exhibitors. You will get an opportunity to go to Spabone once we are done with the program. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're outside, please do join us. Oh. Lo muntu lo bohleli phambi kwakhe uyephi? Thank you so much. I see more and more people are joining us, coming back inside. All right, all right, all right. Did you enjoy that? Hello? Please, can I have everyone's attention? Did you enjoy that? Yeah, join us for tea, man. If you're not joining us for tea, then what are you doing? All right, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions before we. I've got an announcement to make. Guess what? We have our winner already. Whoa. All right, so people will join us. Let's get the program underway. Can I see, by a show of hands, how many of you found people that you will work with? During the networking session, hands. You met someone, you found someone that you're going to work with. Let me see the hands again. I need the hands up. So you are saying you met someone, you found someone that you're going to work with. A bit more confidence, please, with hands. So these are people that you're going to do business with, eh? Okay. So I need two hands. Two hands from the hands that just came up. Two hands. My brother there. Okay, hey, one. Oh. Just two hands. Please give my brother the mic. No, my brother there. Yeah. Just two hands only. My brother, you will stand up, right? Please stand up. I just want to guide you through questions, right? As you answer your question. And that your hand was up, you found someone that you're going to do business with. Right. So, who have you met that you would do business with, right? So, who are they? What do they do? And what business exactly are you going to do with them? So, my name is, this is the business that I run. This is the person that I met. This is what their business does, and this is how we're going to do business. Please, can we give him an ear? It's not working.
Is it morning? What time is it? I don't know.
It's afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sipiwe Monde, also known as Just Solomon. I met the kind gentleman right here. He owns a brand called Ndasekaya, so he is the director and founder of it, Brian. So I'm going to be working with him because I'm currently working on a clothing brand. So he's basically the perfect fit for it. So soon as maybe next week, I'll get in touch with him.
Wow, fantastic. Please can we give the mic to, yes, ma'am. So, Ikama, what you do, who you met, what do they do, and what business are you going to do together?
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Lusanda Qunta. I am from Dispatch, and I am from a company called The Backyard Lifestyle. So basically, we're selling a very healthy lifestyle. And during one of my networking sessions, I met with Usis Zo. Usis Zo uthengisa isimos and basically natural products, as well as spices that are natural. I'm on the catering space. I am selling organic food and organic produce. So Usis Zo here is selling a spice that I am gonna cook with from as early as next week. Enkosi.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Once you do collaborate, we humbly ask, please let us know. Tag us on our social media. Hey guys, we met at the team. Otherwise, we're doing this kind of business together. So let's share the love because it will encourage other people, right? But the business is right here. So, we're heading off to our Mbaula chat now. And I would like to introduce the gentleman. This Mbaula chat will be facilitated by Ubulelani Balabala. The gentleman is Siabulela Mandla. Siabulela Mandla is a young, dynamic, and dedicated professional who's highly driven and committed to self-empowerment. Over the past 13 years, he has worked in the automotive industry holding different positions from humble beginnings of being a machine operator to production team leader, technical assistant, technician, engineer, and now an entrepreneur. So a full circle. This is the gentleman that they're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Siabulela Mandla, founder of 469 Enterprises. Motherwell, let's go. Let's show some love. Come on, we can give him more energy. All right. This will be facilitated by Bulelani. All right, so after the Mbaula chat, we announce the winner. And we have the winner. No, he or she is somewhere in the room. Stay tuned.
Buja, is it still after? Is it afternoon, right? I think that's where we are. Molweni, igama lam nguSiyabulela, ngumandla ifani. I'm from here in Motherwell. I think most of you guys do know. So I'm not gonna, I'm a participant today, so I'm not gonna steal the limelight, so I'm just gonna let Bulelani to drive. And then obviously, depending on what he says, then we'll take it from there. But I must say, before, just on a serious note, I'm quite humbled. I think Bulelani, I'm quite humbled by the turnout. And I'm actually quite humbled to actually meet Bulelani because I've known him through social media, right? And it happens that we share the same passion when it comes to the township economy space. And I think that's probably what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, you know what I love about my guest today is this is the first time a guest has got on the platform and he has spoken. But you know what that says? Let me tell you what that says. It's because of the deep passion that he has, because the work intrinsically is similar work of passion, delivering impact to people, and putting yourself consistently out there. And I think in our engagements, it's that resounding, you don't have to be here doing what you are doing now.
Yeah.
You could have been in Cape Town or in Santorini enjoying your money, but still deciding and being deliberate and saying, Ndizawuyeka, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, even on the backbone of whatever stereotypes that are being peddled out there, to say that the money makes it easier for us to do certain things. But there's this deep thing that beckons at inside of us that keeps us doing the things that we're doing. So as if no one knows you in this room, which majority of the people in this room know you, ngubani uSiya, yabo, in an alternate way, maybe not the corporate business way, but ngubani uSiya, and then just on the back of that, riding that similar wave, how did you get into entrepreneurship?
Yeah. Look, I normally, Bulelani, be the one who asks those type of questions, right? So when somebody asks ngubani uSiya, I mean, I grew up here in Motherwell. Obviously, my roots are from the rural areas in Transkei. You know, we came here for greener pastures. My parents, it's a normal, typical, you know, black child story, you know. We're looking for greener pastures, right? We came to the urban areas, townships. Obviously, I was based in Zweden before we came to Motherwell. So my story is not any different than any of you guys. And this is what I always emphasize when I do some of these talks, that, you know, any person sitting here can actually do something and change the circumstances which they found themselves. Because sometimes these circumstances are not born through our own actions. It's circumstantial. So coming from the rural areas to the urban areas, that's one of the things that you get is the stigma, you know. Iparia says lalin. So I suppose for me, all of those type of things, they've kind of, you know, zandinika nje lamqhelo of having to do a little bit more than what other ordinary people will do, right? So I came here, studied here, you know, and I found employment here, fortunately, after my high school, when the parents said that they don't have money to take me to a higher education, which is normal. You know, there's nothing, you know, it's normal. Most of us, especially if you are an elder at home, they will always tell you, basakhona bazayo. So when ambofuna umsebenzi, because we were prepared to do just that, right? Funda uphuma kwakho ungena emsebenzini and the next one will follow. So it's a production, you know, that's what it is. So I went through that process of transformation, right, where I really knew that I had all the odds against me. So I've got no privilege. So finding a job, having to go to town, pretend as if you're working, carrying a lunch box, standing in a queue in Firestone or wherever the industry that we have here. And fortunately finding a job. And by the way, I started as a cleaner in my working life, and I was fortunate that I got formal employment eventually as an operator, team leader, and eventually when I left the company I was an engineer. So it took me 8 years of studying, right? Because unfortunately I had to work, I had to provide for myself and obviously provide at home. So now the next thing comes in. You know, when you are a sucker for progress, you achieve this, then you realize it's not enough. You know, so I realized that, you know, I've gone through the transformative process. You know, I've endured extreme hardship, but I've endured all of that because at the end of the day, there was an outcome, right? As I said, I became an engineer. So when an opportunity came in 2013, the company was restructuring. So they said, look, we are closing, there's new intake, new people that are buying the going concern, and those who want obviously to move over to the new entity can move, and those who actually want to exit would exit. And to me, that's where my entrepreneurship journey started. And I think it started on the basis that I knew I was privileged in the later part of my life, because the company that I worked for, when I went to approach my MD, which was David Mahaffey at the time, and I know he's listening, or you will listen to this, he's from Britain, by the way, and I said to him, you know what, I'm very humbled to have gotten an opportunity to work in this company, but I want to study. You know, all my colleagues have gone to university, so I want to study. So eventually he said, be careful of what you wish for, and that's where that process started, right? And I got scholarship, and I studied on one condition, when Abulelani, that don't fail. Because if you fail, you pay back all the money. And that's where I started, as I said, and ended up being an engineer, and up until I did my master's MBA. Now, how do I reciprocate that type of an opportunity that I was given, right? Because I knew I was just, in a million people, there were two of us that would get that type of an opportunity to get a job, to be paid to study, and for the company to pay for your tuition for 8 years, right? On the basis that obviously you pass. So I couldn't replicate that type of benefit, but I knew I could do other things. And that's pretty much the reason why I started a business. It came from that social orientation.
When you sort of, when you find yourself transitioning
Yeah.
from an individual who came up from Islalini, you then now orientate yourself in your, your career from a sort of low-skilled worker to a high-skilled individual who now becomes a professional.
Yeah.
How was that transition? Because now here you are, you've got the backing of Dine Salary, which gives me the backing. Ukba, I can make whatever deficit, I'll recover maybe after 30 days when I get paid again. Now you're in entrepreneurship. And then maybe on the back of that, talking to us about what the transition was like, but also what were some of the misconceptions when you got in? So Sfumene Ungapagats and thought to myself, I didn't think it would be this tough or like this or like that.
Look, I wouldn't lie. That is always a difficult thing, right? And I think if you follow just my thought process and my journey is that, I started from the ground up, and I knew that anything that I need to decide on, it will be backed by hard work, right? So I'm going to have to prove myself. And I know when I was an engineer, and I said that, we've been given this opportunity that you can either remain, with the new entity, or you can jump ship. And I said to the family, I said, I think I'm ready. I want to go and try my ideas. And my biggest belief was that if nobody is prepared to try my own ideas, and it's not me, I do not know who else will do that on my behalf. So, and also, this is not an easy journey. I was always confident, though, that if things do go wrong, I will always go back to the industry because I've studied, I've built networks, and I knew if things do go wrong, I will always go back. But I think just to go back to the entrepreneurship journey, what I did, and this is why we do this type of engagements, just to give testimony to people that these things are possible. So I'm always a very risk-averse person, so I analyze things. So, and I needed to demonstrate to myself, beside other people, that am I an entrepreneur? Because at home, there was never an entrepreneur. My family, my dad or my mom, they never even owned a car, not to say a license. So there was no historical reference to say this is what a business person is, beside what I see in the media, right? So I think for me, that was the biggest fear, but I needed to break that fear. And the way I did it, so we are fortunate here in South Africa. We've got institutions like what we are doing here today, where there was a competition, right? So there was this competition. So I thought to myself that is actually the first opportunity which I will have to demonstrate that I do have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So I entered for SAP Kickstart,
yes.
right? And to my surprise, I won that in the Eastern Cape. So I thought to myself, okay, now being a technical person, now finding myself being an entrepreneur was quite interesting. So I thought to myself, let me try again. So there was a CEDA competition. Guess what? I won that in the Eastern Cape. So at that point in time, I realized that, I'm confident enough to go and present my ideas. I believe in my ideas. I'm confident enough. And to tell you, those concepts were simple. I started with the car wash. I said, I'm going to compete at the national level with people who've got brilliant ideas. But I'm going to take a concept that every person knows, and it's a low-skill type of an entry point for workers or even entrepreneurs themselves, a car wash. And that car wash won 2 competitions at the provincial level. And it has gone through and to get to be nominated to be a top 40 business within the Gazelles program. And so that is where I as I said, I'm a risk-averse person. That is where I certify myself to be confident that, I think I am an entrepreneur. And I had to gauge myself beside what other people were telling me at the time.
So maybe just to jump in there, I mean, you won these different pitches.
Yeah.
Maybe just to take you back into those moments. What then do you think were the one or the two or the three main things that differentiated you when you were pitching? Just to the entrepreneurs here's benefit, because they'll be going out and you know life is a pitch, we pitch every day, so that you steal some of those nuggets from someone who's won multiple.
Yeah, and I think, firstly, I think never be afraid to pitch your idea. And you start with the people that are close to you. But one thing I will never undervalue when Abulelan, to me, education is key, and education is not what happens in the classroom only. I emphasize this in today's world that people have got so much opportunity with the internet. Information is available. I think at the time when we started this whole journey, we had limitations in terms of that. So my biggest strength, and I'll be honest with you, was the fact that I've been in a corporate, I've started from ground up, I have learned the capacity to manage things, projects, and all of that. Most importantly, I believed in my own ideas, right? So when I went there, as I said, I did not bring anything that was innovative. It was just a car wash. It's called 469. By the way, 469 stands for the area code here, which is 469. So when you dial here, it is what it is. So, and to me, that's all I sold. I sold this grand plan of having a business that is going to have a multi-layer of other business activities, right? Which that's what we do now. We're not just a car wash, but we started from there. And the administrative capabilities and the ability, I think this is what and I'm going to use a reference because you guys have said a lot. I'm an introvert. I people, in my high school days, people, they never knew I could speak because I just keep quiet, and I talk to people that I'm close with, but you know what? I knew that was a limitation. So I had to learn to interact with people, right? And to be honest with you guys, this business is one of the businesses that has allowed, because this is my space as well, this is one of the businesses that allowed me to be socially inclined, to talk to people. Because me, I sit in my corner, I read my books, I deliver, and that's it. But I had to overcome that fear of standing in the crowd, in front of the crowd of people, and expressing my ideas, because I do have ideas. And this is something now that I kind of do without even being prepared, because these are the ideas, I internalize them, I've got a thought process, and as I said, education, and I will emphasize it, guys, that nobody must, and I know you can be successful without having a academic education, but people must never devalue the learning process, right? Because it is what differentiates you from the next person, your knowledge base.
Let's give him a big round of applause. Still on that, no? You sort of talk about starting this car wash and winning competitions with a car wash. I think maybe there's a number of myths that could be dispelled, or misconceptions, or negative assumptions, because someone else thinks, man, I've got a bigger dream than a car wash.
Yeah.
Then we undermine and we look down on some of the businesses that we could actually be generating income from by shifting. How important would you say, in the work that you've done, in your own personal experience, how important would you say it's important to, really just dig deep into businesses and not necessarily on a surface level? Yeah. Because we make these judgments and say, I would rather open up food outlets as opposed to this one, but undermining the fact that this one has the money that we're looking for.
Yeah. Look, business is all about sustainability, right? There's a bank here, go and tell your bank about your dreams and your ideas. Until you put it on paper, it looks viable, it's sustainable, it's a proven concept, proven market, and you can back it up. That's what they fund, right? So the rest becomes a beautiful story to tell. And I think for me, that's why I said, as a risk-averse person, I'm starting to, I want to learn, this journey of being an entrepreneur. So I thought it was a low-risk type of business, right? So I can start, I can grab anybody in the streets without having to, spend a lot of money on training and development. It's just that I needed people to understand what this car wash represented. It's the only formal car wash here in Motherwell, for that matter. So I needed them to understand that. But it was just, the vision was beyond just a car wash. We were selling a brand identity that was synonymous with the township. And that's pretty much what my argument is about with this vehicle. I've got other interest elsewhere. And that is why, and this is our biggest problem, in the township. And I want to hit home with that, because that is pretty much the reason why you're here, and that's pretty much the reason why I'm here, to say one of the misconceptions and the things that we undermine as people that are here when we talk about the township economy is because we do not understand that. Okay, sorry. And for that matter, we think if you run a business in Sentin, there is no point to be in the township. Yes, there are issues in the township. There are limitations in terms of issues of crime and all of that. But there's an opportunity in the township. And we've seen this space being dominated by other people beside the entrepreneurs that are sitting in this room. And I want to mention something, Wenabule, if you do permit, just to emphasize this point, is that firstly, even, when we talk of the township economy, I don't know about you, but in my journey, when I spoke to institutions about the township economy, they did not even believe that it exists. I mean, when I wanted to do my MBA, my thesis was about the township economy, which they rejected. They said there is no such a thing called township economy. There is no literature that supports this thing. So there was a lot for me to prove, in terms of running businesses in the township. So the point that I want to drive home is that the fact that we undermine the resources that we have here, the opportunity, the market. When people say the township economy is worth 900 billion, we need to believe it, because there are big retailers, big establishments that are making a lot of money here. And so we have to start getting to a point where we appreciate, we understand, we explore the spaces that we are in before we actually be judgmental, because we've seen that is how we've lost the township economy space as we speak now.
I mean, you know what? I really like that, Esh, why are you charging me up? Because now I must ask the questions. Now
I want you to be
now it's
emotional.
instigating, conversations. But I like that. Just quite interestingly, I think enough, a week or 2 weeks ago, I sat in the offices of some multinational telecoms company, and they said, we love the work that you guys did at the township, but what at the township? Because we don't think that our customers are in the township. And I think probably 50 or 60% of the people in this room use that particular brand. But it was someone very high and senior, who was making these assertions. But for me, I think on the back of what you're saying is to say, it's important that we tell our stories but loud.
Yes.
Because uniqueness only gets you to a certain point. So uniqueness has an expiry date, and I'll tell you how. So if I grew up in the same township as Sia, and Sia breaks through with the Kawa story, I cannot now own the Kawa story in Motherwell because Sia has that share of voice. I would need a bigger share of voice and to go create a different story, which becomes way more expensive, which says, start small from a resource aspect with what you have, but go big in every time you're given an opportunity to share your story, share it the loudest so that you don't hold back. Because the moment you reserve, there are people on the other side that look at all the things that we have reservations about and take advantage of those opportunities. Then it's Pegama Lokshin, it's Pegama Pakistan, or whatsoever. But we had reservations about some of those things. But now, the only way for us to really cement ourselves in various aspects is to, but anyway, we're not there. We are not there. This is not today's conversation. No, we are not there. No. Yeah. Let's give Sia a big round of applause. So I definitely believe him when he says that he does this all the time. But Sia, now tell me something. I mean, what has kept you, we know entrepreneurship is tough. But there's this thing about you. I mean, I sit here and I look at you dressed nice, and obviously struggles are not written on our foreheads. So through the experiences that you've had, you've validated you know, the challenges, and you don't look like the challenges that you've gone through. How have you navigated some of those challenges? And but most importantly, much because the question was also asked earlier on to ask Sis Pilisa, how have you been able to build the mental resilience to deal with the ups and downs of, Abo, no, we reject to inform you, we don't really like your concept, we don't think that it's viable, it doesn't have market, and all of that stuff. How have you developed the mindset, resilience that helped you navigate all of those things?
Yeah, no, it's. I think it starts with self-belief. I think for me that because I had no reference of anything. You know, I have never run a business before, and for that matter, I was never in a management position either. So I didn't know, you know, in terms of the hierarchy, even in the corporate. So all I knew is that I have no privilege. Anything that I need to do, I'm going to work hard for it, and to me, that is the basis, and that is the things that we struggle with currently, because if I talk to young people today, you know, hard work is not sexy, because we work 14 hours to 18 hours a day. I work 7 days a week with my different interests.
I want to cut you. I think you need to say that again.
Yeah.
Hard work is not sex.
Not sexy.
Yo,
you know,
we could close the workshop. We could close the session right there.
Yeah.
I teta boot, teta.
So I mean, that's the reality, and I think that's the phenomena that we have to deal with young people today, and just entrepreneurs. You know, the fatigue, the instant gratification. This is a journey. It's not an event. So it means that you have to embrace the journey with its own constraints. You know, because you're going to fail, and you must never fail to stand up. When you do fail, and you must never fail to learn from those instances. I failed a couple of times. I've lost money. I've made the wrong decisions, you know. But at the end of the day, I always see it as an opportunity not to repeat that mistake. All right. So I think that, to me, that's just the natural progression that people must have as a mindset. So the setbacks, we must never perceive them as setbacks. We must look at them as an opportunity to learn, progress, and as I said, you know, the underlying issue here is hard work. You know, we've seen people coming into business, and that's why we've got all sorts of problems now, is that people think it's a final destination. You know, it's about instant gratification, it's about driving the fanciest car, it's about, you know, showing people that you've got an invoice for R1 million. It's a journey. If we have to talk about generational wealth, where people talk of a third generation taking over the business, we have to get the fundamentals right. And those fundamentals are based on hard work, learning, networks, you know, all the beautiful things that have been said here, strategic thinking, you know, and I was thinking when Usisi that was presenting and was giving a definition of strategic thinking, I said, you know, if I were to give an academic definition of it, I would also say things along those lines. But for me, strategic thinking is thinking without the box. No, they normally say think outside the box. I said think without the box. Professor Lubumba, that's what he said. So for me, those are the things that will differentiate you from the next person. If you're an athlete, you are never going to win a race if you don't train every day. There's just no ways. You know, you can take drugs, you can do all these, you know, enhancements, but at the end of the day, you need to show up. I think it was mentioned here. I love the story of the first gentleman, and it's just a typical story of resilience. You know, somebody who believes in this thing and will not take a no for an answer. And I'm like that. But I don't go out there to talk about things that I have not spent time, researched, and empowered myself with. So, and that's why I say in today's world, the power of internet. And if I were to tell you, Bulelana, you know, I'm talking about the car wash and the bar, now we're in transport, we're in property and all of that. You know, in my industrial work, because I'm an engineer, I still love the business of doing things. I've learned about plastic, recycling, without sitting in a class. Sit in my office at night, YouTube, look at the mechanisms, the process. Now we run a factory, we make plastic. You know, we recycle e-waste. I've never learned that in any classroom, but I've sat there at night, read about it, learn on the internet. Today we are setting up our own refinery that is going to process all of those things. So the power of learning I can never undervalue, to anybody. You can be as hard work, you can have all of those things. If you do not know the space we are in, you can't compete.
Yeah, no, I'm learning. I'm really, I mean, how many people are learning? You know, because I think the biggest thing for me is what you just said now. You can't compete if you don't know the industry we're in. You know, I mean, I walked into a retailer the other day and I was surprised to see Amagwenya. You know, but you know, years ago when I was talking about Amagwenya, showing up in a retail place, it almost seemed like you are a crazy person. You'll never find Amagwenya commercially, but here they are. In a very fancy retail store that a lot of people like to go and buy in. And I think that's the real thing. We must know the real value of the industries we're in so that we can really do what Putsi is telling us, work extremely hard in pushing ourselves and then do exactly what he said, because it's free. Go onto YouTube, learn new skills and network yourself. But I don't want to take all of the time with all of my questions. I want to maybe just open up to 3 individuals, then we move to the pitching, and not the pitch winner, and we eat and we continue networking. Is there anyone else who's got a question for Butsia? Question? Thank you. I've got a lady over there in the orange. Thank you, my lady. I've got a gentleman over here in the black. I've got a gent in the brown top and a gent in the cap. So those will be my 4. I've moved it up. I've moved up the ante from 2 to 4. So thank you. My lady.
Thank you so much. My name is Vyogas Melanie. I'm from Melanie's Development Enterprise. And is that as someone who started from a family which doesn't have a privilege, then what happens when you have started this business and it is doing fine, it is just starting, and then you find yourself that, okay, right now I'm the only person who's working here at home and I'm depending on this income that is coming from this business, and also my family as well, the people that depend on me, they also depend from this income. And then how do you deal with that in the this business isandoqala, and yet there's a lot of people, okay, there are a lot of people who are depending on this same income as my business. How do I deal with that? And this business has to work for it.
Gosh, I love your question. Sir?
Yeah, no, it's the reality that you've got, whether you were, I mean, from what you're saying, whether you started a business or whether you started as an intern, you know, in a company, and you are obviously trying to build your career. Those are the, you know, they call it what do they call it now? Black tax. You know, they've got a word for it. But you know, I would not be negative to that because at the end of the day, that's the responsibility that you carry, right? And it is the same reason that must make you to work from 6 hours a day to 8 hours a day, to 12 hours a day, to 14 hours a day. And I'm sorry to put it that way because it's punitive to you, but you are the one who's got the vision. So it's a responsibility that unfortunately you're going to have to bear at this point in time.
Sure. Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause. The gentleman, sir. Got the gentleman over here.
Afternoon.
Moholo.
My name is Abongle Mazomba from the Garden Gents. I would want to ask this gentleman about what is currently happening in Motherwell. How are you navigating around the, what is it called, protection fee? Because you found Mazamini ekoneni wenza makunyi, but kula 200 ayenzayo ngola suku kukho uMr Mazomba ofuna ufumana into kula 200 ayenzayo ngola suku. Where is it going for iMotherwell? Because andisubana nto inququzela into amandenze business, because ndiyazi ndoba ndizawutyebisa omnye umuntu ngale business yam, ndibe mna ndisebenza nzima, ndisacrificeile a lot. Some of us here culinary schools, safunda. Now all of the skills senzileyo pha siya wasting because of unabantu abajonge ubenefita ngam and uzawufumana ngaphezulu kunam ndibe mna ndisebenza. Mhlawumbi bakhona abandijongileyo ngoku mhlawumbi andizuphuma apha le nto ndiyibuzayo ndingafa andiyazi.
You know, Mazomba. You know Mazomba. I don't know if it's the same. I used to study with him, NU5. You know what you're saying is a very serious thing, right? The issue of crime, because to me that's all crime. You know, it's all crime, and you know, in the space of being a township advocacy, and as part of what we do, you know, it's interesting that this topic that we are talking about, we were talking about it at CEDA the other day, and we also had a meeting with the university talking about how do we deal with this thing of crime. And by the way, the protection fee is not a Motherwell thing. It started in Cape Town, and it has found its way. You know, in the discussion that we had yesterday, something interesting came up. You know, sometimes there is always an opportunity in every chaos, right? I always say in a war zone country, there's somebody who is making money. You know, there is order even in a chaotic environment. So we need to deal with it, you know, and I'm obviously against that type of thing because protection fees are, you know, being paid to whom for what, you know. And it's not something that me and you are going to be able to resolve, but it needs a collective and institutional arrangement because the competency of crime prevention lies with the police. And but I do want to say to you, you know, because this was mentioned to me, what is the root cause of this thing? And somebody says to me, you know, these people have created a form of employment for themselves. And they have done it at the expense of other people. But they are not necessarily the cause. The fact of the matter is that crime is a big business, you know. And you can look at it from institutional or big businesses, corporate, because they've got the money for security and all of that. And they're paying millions to protect their goods, right? And it's now starting to affect us because it's done at the low level. It's taking from the little that we have. But the fact of the matter that crime has become a big economy. And those who are in the, you know, crime prevention are making money out of it. Whether it's the recognized methodologies or it's the ones that now we are complaining about, which are obvious crime. So I have no answer for you when it comes to that at this point in time, but I think part of what we are doing today is to demystify some of those things, is to say, you as entrepreneurs sitting here who have got a lot to lose, what do we do as a collective to discourage this type of thing? Because if we don't, you participate, the next gentleman next to you has to do the same, because you have now given authority to these guys to institutionalize this thing. And if we don't discourage it, it's going to be institutionalized. Now you're going to need protection fee just to go to the shop, let alone running a shop. You know, so crime is an issue and it needs to be dealt as a collective. Just to tell you, yesterday the Minister of Police was here. There was a big meeting about the issue of crime prevention and what needs to be done, because we are seeing the level of crime that we have not seen in PE before, more so in our township, right? But the root cause of crime is unemployment, right? Directly related. So I am not also saying that, you know, unemployment, I'm giving reasons or accepting the fact that crime is there and is agitated by the fact that there's unemployment. But it also says that we've got a responsibility sitting here, because if we are entrepreneurs, we are the ones that are going to create jobs. Subsequently, we should be able to defeat crime, right? And it's a long-term thing. So how I deal with that, I don't pay attention to those things. I deal with somebody that comes to me, but you know, I don't support it. And as much as I know that, and based on the conversation we had yesterday, it was a different narrative, because to me, the person who said this thing, it actually rang a bell that, you know what, these people have created employment for themselves, forcefully so. And we've seen now that their services are needed, which we are now funding the same thing.
Thank you so much for that. Third gentleman, my brother.
Good afternoon, everyone. The name is Ngosomzi Damana. I'm from Kwazakele. So I have a baking business that has been operating for the past 2 years and 5 months. So now the thing is, and this question is also directed to everyone, if they can help. So I am not a professional baker. I didn't go study baking or anything like that. It's just a passion that I have. So now to grow my business, I think it would be best if I were to outsource certain products. I know how to bake muffins, scones, gem squares, gem tart pies, you understand? And I also want to bake cakes. But for now, I am outsourcing cakes from my cousin. So now, since they say most people it's a problem, outsourcing like food. So I want to figure out a way like how can I go around it? And I think Mrs. Lusanda can also help me. She's in the catering space. Because I also wanted to learn how to do savory muffins. So I just want to figure out a way, like how can I grow the business? You see, because I also entered the Ignite Your Hustle competition by Standard Bank. I was in the top 5. So, and another thing, I don't have a stove. It broke down. So, but lucky for me, since I was in the top 5, so they were able to give us 4,000. So I take that money, I'm going to buy a stove. You understand? So that's the journey. So I just want to know how can I go around it, like go about it with the outsourcing thingy. Yeah, basically that's it.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, sir.
You know, you might not see it as a strategic thing. We were talking about strategic thinking here. You know, Bulelan, somebody said to me that, to start a business, sometimes you don't have to own the product, right? So somebody said to me, go to a manufacturer, you ask them that they must give you stock and you can negotiate on consignment or whatever. Go to the market because you know the people, you know us here, you know your neighbors and this and that. And then you go to them and say, if I bring you this product, can you buy from me? And they agree. So you have not manufactured a single item. You have taken it from somebody that has given you on consignment. You have sent it to a customer that pays you cash immediately. You've got 30 days to pay the manufacturer. You're sitting with 30 days cash flow, right? So all I'm saying, business is all about strategy. You start where you are, and you must understand where you're positioning. So maybe in the long run, you want to make these muffins yourself and all of that, but if there's somebody that can make those muffins, they don't have access to markets and you do have access to markets, guess what? It's a win-win situation. It's a collaboration. Kelston Group does not own any manufacturing of vehicles, but they sell them. It's a distribution channel, right? So sometimes it's not about you owning, and I want to say this because I'm very honest with myself and where I come from and our stereotypes, as black people, it's all about ownership, and I know where it comes from, because we've never owned anything mostly. So it is always the first thing that we want to do when we get an opportunity to own something. But sometimes the cost of ownership is too high. You see, so sometimes you do not have to own the means of that production. If you've got access to the market, you own the distribution, all you need to do is to talk to somebody that is very good at making those things, and you sell them. So the transaction is complete. But obviously, if you want to own the value chain, because remember, business has got a chain, then you can start participating, whether it's upward or downward integration. Then you can integrate your business by owning the manufacturing, because now you own the distribution. And that allows you to reduce your cost, and maybe it also allows the turnaround time, to improve on your throughput and your delivery times. But you need to start where you are. So don't see it as a hindrance. See it as an opportunity and something that you need to overcome, and put a time frame on it to say, look, at this point in time, I do not have the 10,000 rands for a stove, but Aunt May unaso stove and akana capacity or une capacity to make these things, and she's not obviously overwhelmed. So you go, you negotiate, you said, out of what you do, I just need 10% of your time, and then you can go to Peter, you can ask the same thing. All of a sudden, you've got a product that you take to the market. The important thing is, business, you can own everything, but if you don't own the market, you've got no business, right?
Thank you so much. The last gentleman in the cap at the back. Yes, sir.
Good day, everyone. My name is Siyabonga Clint. I'm a director of Precision Genuine Solutions, which is an aluminum manufacturing company, glass retailing, and we also do construction in terms of maintenance and repairs. My question is, I've heard that you have multiple ventures that you are doing. So I want to know, how do you do best, or how do you excel in terms of managing all those multiple ventures? Thank you.
Yeah, you know, as an entrepreneur, when you start, you become everything. You are the salesperson, you are the mopping lady, you are, I mean, it's just if you start at that low level, unfortunately, that's what you have to become. And I always see things as an opportunity. It's a constraint, but it gives you the authority to speak about what you do, right? Because you know it from point A to point Z. And the minute you are able to know that process, you duplicate. Business is about consistency. You duplicate that process to the next one and the next one. That's why KFC today, whether you buy KFC from China or United States or Britain, it will probably taste almost the same, because you duplicate the process, because consistency, that's what drives business. And beyond consistency, you improve innovation, you add more. So if you've mastered one business, the principles of business are the same. There's a customer, there's a transaction that needs to be made, you must deliver, and the customer must come back again. So you use the same principles, you use the same platforms that they have obviously given you results within your first enterprise or initiative. So for me, it's all about consistency, and you replicate. And again, it depends how you want to do it. You know, are you moving from one industry to another, or are you now wanting to own the value chain of that particular industry? The gentleman that was talking about selling muffins, now he now wants to integrate downwards. So he wants now to manufacture his own stuff. From there, he will make his own stuff. Maybe now he wants a farm so that he can plant, agriculturally, he can plant stuff that he can use as ingredients for his manufacturing. So that's integration, right? And you can do that because you've got the muscle, you want to compete in the market, you want to control your costs, because once you do that, you can reduce your costs because you've got total control. And you don't want, obviously, your business to be duplicated by somebody else. So I think for me, the art of doing business is consistency, is duplication. What works, you duplicate. And the last part, I think the other speakers mentioned this thing, is processes, right? And I think one of our constraints as SMMEs, particularly those who are in the township, because we are business ourselves, you are everything, but we do not document the process. You do not document your process that you can hand over to somebody else that can actually do the same job and achieve the same outcome. So it's important that once you establish a process, let it not be in your head alone. Document those processes, and once you are able to document, you impart the skills to other people so that they buy into that process. And that's how big businesses have started. And obviously, as I said, that there is a predetermined way of doing things, but you can excel in different ways based on your experience, your knowledge, but it's all about consistency.
Let's give Butsia a big round of applause. That then brings us to the wrap-up of this engagement. But however, it would be amiss to close without asking you for your final words, final thoughts that you'd like to share.
Yeah, I want to say to the guys, township is open for business. To me, that's the first thing. So if we want to own this space, we need to be intentional, we need to learn, we need to participate, and that is why I'm so happy when I see corporates coming to this space, Because at the end of the day, we bank at Nedbank, we, the lady from Sasol asked me if I've got a reward card from Sasol. I said, yes, I do have. So we consume these brands. And we think that is by virtue of, it's a natural thing. We consume these brands because they are visible in the township, they promote, they've positioned themselves. So we need to learn from them, but we need to do so in a collaborative manner, right? So that's why I don't think I would have met Bulelani if these people were not here to support the vision. So it's important that we collaborate. And for me, I just want to talk about the township economy and those entrepreneurs that are here in this space to say township is open for business. And everybody keeps telling us this is a multi-billion industry or economy. Depends what you read. They say 500 billion, they say 900 billion. They say it's 150,000 spaza shops accumulating 200 billion. In actual fact, those spaza shops will be ignored because I got shocked when I got those numbers. 200 billion, do they understand? I should have been a billionaire by now. But somebody is making that money, and it's not any of us. Right? So that is where I'm saying that township is open for business. We need to take it seriously. And my biggest drive about this thing is that I need to see some of you guys that have come here, participated just like the gentleman, to say, I have made it through, and this is the value chain we have created within the township economy space. Then all our problems will be sorted. Because my last point, and I will talk till tomorrow about this thing because I'm passionate about it. And one of the things that I also want to say, the people who are in this space don't even understand the demographics of the township themselves. I asked the other day people, do you know how many townships are in South Africa? Not even one person told me. And then I told them there's 532 townships in this country. Do you know which province has got the biggest market share of the township? They didn't know. It's Gauteng, Durban, Cape Town. So if you don't understand those demographics, economic indicators, so how are you going to participate? How are you going to be strategic? This strategic thinking that is not aligned, supported by microeconomic indicators within the space, how are you going to do this thing? If we do not understand, 30%, in actual fact, 30 million people live in townships. That's the statistics. It's factual. You can check. So if you do not understand those numbers, how are you going to participate in this space? How are you going to qualitatively, quantitatively extrapolate what your product lifespan could be? For instance, I know, Buleland, that when I started the car wash, at the time in Motherwell, there were 20,000 cars registered. And I knew that number. And I said, out of 20,000 cars, I need X amount. That's my market share, right? And I also looked at the rate at which they were buying cars. I do research. And I realized, the majority of cars in Motherwell, they are, second hand. But there is a line that is coming that people are buying brand new cars now because people are working, upward mobility. They are working, they're buying new cars, they're getting credit from the banks. They're not told to bring their uncle, mom, and children and grandmothers now for security. All of those things. So I knew that at the end of the day, the car wash business will never die. It's just that in a manner it will be done because the majority of people that live here don't have vehicles. So the gap between those who have vehicles and those who are aspirational is huge. So they will still have cars. So we're still going to wash cars. It's basically that.
Let's give Sia a big round of applause. So, we've got a nice gift for you, but before you get the gift, I'd like you to stand here, center stage, smile at the camera. One picture with the mic, one with us.
I must do this thing.
No, I've been doing it. You can see me. My sweater's hanging. You can learn from me.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll let you do your solo.
Yeah, without the mic.
Are we sorted? Thank you. This is our token from us to you. But please don't disappear too far because we're going to do the pitch announcement. Thank you, sir. Let's give Prasia a big round of applause.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Much appreciated, and a lot was learned. Once again, to our online audience, also do share what you took away from that Mbawala chat. I'm about to announce the winner. I don't know if you're excited as I am. I didn't pitch, but I'm excited. No, but before that, before I announce the winner, I would like 3 hands to share. Okay, I've seen ngati share. 3 hands. Just to share what they've learned today. Why are their hands going down? I want a hand I haven't seen today. All right? 3, just 3, quickly. Oh, 1. My brother in the black, 2. No. 1 more, just quickly. Okay, the lady in the black. So, please give the brother in the black the mic. My brother, you'll stand up. Introduce yourself. What are some of the business lessons that you've learned today? And how do you think those business lessons will change your business or help your business go to the next level?
Afternoon, ladies and gents. My name is Theo Gocha. I'm from Kasi Delivery. For today, what I've learned from Uputsia, such inspiring words, words of wisdom on how to run and operate different businesses. Also to partner with others. Easy Deliveries over there. We'll be partners moving forward, collaborating on what he's doing. So basically, that's it from my side. Thank you.
All right, where's the mic? The lady here, yeah, in the blue jersey.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ulu Babalo. I am a graphic designer and a director of Black Excellence Media Group, and I'm also the founder of Deep Clean Prose. Deep Clean Prose is still small. I'm starting by uvasa ikapet zabandu. I'm using my hands, by the way, so that is the beginning. And with graphic designing, I am a self-taught graphic designer, and I do logos, flyers, and everything. So this experience has taught me something that Uputsia, Nosisipana, they were speaking of how introverted they are, but they had to go out of their bubble to explore other things. So I had a chance to network with a lot of people. I think I spoke with more than 10 people, and that is not me. Usually I'd sit and observe and everything, and that does not help. So I am very grateful for this opportunity to be learning and to know that my dreams are actually valid. They can happen. I can be on Forbes under 30 by 30. You know, to hear stories from Putsia coming from here in Motherwell. I am right here in Motherwell, and I don't see my peers at all. People who are from here are not here, Ngabandu Apa, who are coming from different places. So I think such platforms are very, very, very crucial, that Nati, we get to be exposed to people like this. People will tell us that I am coming from this, and look where I am right now. So I'm very grateful for that. And as a director of Black Excellence, it's actually a media group. And tomorrow we are here at Ntsimbini, right here at 469. We're celebrating creatives. We're celebrating women. We are gathering to celebrate each other, for people to know there are things like this, and they need to be celebrated. Because sometimes when you're ambitious, and there is nothing wrong with that. So I'm very grateful.
Sabulela Siswam, your dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid.
Molweni kwakhona. Ndingu Uvakala? Ndinguphumeza Dolo mna. Ndihlala eMotherwell, iprofession yami yi-chef usisi. Fike PE wafumanisa uba kula ndawo ndihlala kuyo ayingeni ndawo into yobheyikha iipayi nentoni ayinidwa apha. But then ndajika, okay, mandithathe ii-herbs, ndiyazi-understand i-culinary herbs. Let me do it ii-bags zizophilisa abantu. Le ndlela ndenza ngayo ipholile, ndikwi-pace yami epholileyo, but umbono ukhona. Ubhuti uthe xa ethetha wathi ayikho sexy le ndlela, ayikho sexy nyhani. Lowa ubhuti ndifunde into yoba uba it makes usebenze i-24 hours nje abanye abantu bengu-9 to 5, go for it as long as uyazi uba yinto like yazi ukuba authentic ngelinye ixesha uvuse it's like ukuzala umntana umbukele khulu umkhulisa ngokunokwakho. Like ininzi manje into endiyifundileyo ngebusiness bendicinga like ukwenza ibusiness sonka sakho nje uba okay ba mawube nokuncane ukwazi ukuphila, but ayikho ngawe. It's about making utshintsho, bringing impilo ebantwini, because izinto zenzayo ujonga bayayinida abantu, ntoni abayinidayo, banceda ngantoni, la critical thinking. Enkosi.
Thank you so much, my sister. Siyabulela. Thank you to every single one of you that has shared. I'm going to call up Zanele Hatebe, Vice President for Marketing, Sasol Energy Marketing and Sales, just to tell us a bit more about this incredible Sasol rewards that they have in fueling entrepreneurs. Zanele, please come on stage. She comes on stage. Mother, she said, if you don't give her enough energy, she won't give us more Sasol rewards cards and you.
Thank you very much. Sanbonani ninjani. Niyazothi angithethe. Ngijabula kabi ngoba ngibona ukuthi istrati sithi Bhungane, ngubhungane mina ngumthimkhulu ngumashiya amahle ungelengele mahade siyabonga. I love it when I come to environments like this and representing an organization that stays true to its promise. We talk about innovating for a better world. And when you see other corporates and our visions are aligned, in that there's value behind the environments that we, even as individuals, come from. And that when we sit in boardrooms and we say, and we put forward of why we want to support particular organizations that do real grassroots level work, there's an agreement and there's an understanding, and the vision is clear and it's supported. I become even prouder when we come into these environments and as Sasol, a lot of our food that gets put on our tables as individuals is from all the stations that you see. Lapenya Kona, Nanboni Sasol station, it's owned, it's a business owner. Business yak. It's not owned by Sasol. We have a brand there. The owner at the end of the day is entrusted with our brand, but we ovugaya asebenzi. Then we are business partners to help them and ensure that that business is successful. That's the role we play. So I'm very proud when we see retailers like Usispile akuluma asho ukuthi usukumiswa kanjani, and what she's had to endure in her journey, and is able to share that because you will be the next people who are in the pipeline saying, I'm ready to be also a franchisee of a Sasol garage. I heard this talk being given, and I'd like to be that. So when we partnered up with T, for us it was, we've got over 77 Sasol stations inside townships in South Africa. Some of our stations are the top performers, okay? So when you guys are driving around, and we've got a great site here in Motherwell, that when you go and spend there, why we developed a royalty rewards program called Sasol Rewards was because every time you spend, there's something that comes back. For an SMME or for any business owner, and for any business actually, a car is an expense. The fuel that has to go in it, because you collected dust. So if you don't get fuel inside your vehicle, and even the same if it's an electric vehicle, something has to go in to keep it moving. It must remain mobile. But over and above that, that's already an expense on its own, which is an overhead when you're looking at it from an income statement or balance sheet. So therefore, over and above everything else that goes to keeping the car worthy and on the road, your insurance, your warranties, and so forth, are all expenses. Therefore, when we partnered up with T, we were very proud of the fact that this is an organization that goes around from crisscrossing all around the country. We are in the business of fuel. How can we become a fuel partner to them? But secondly, how can we now start hearing stories from at a grassroots level where we start to hear entrepreneurs on the ground so that they're also, when we've got opportunities, here's the right environment where we'd like to bring the opportunities and say, there are opportunities in your areas. And we know that Eastern Cape is a big one when it comes to unemployment. We've got 21 sites in the Eastern Cape alone. And some of the issues that were raised are real issues that we know how they affect our own business owners. So therefore, we don't come here to just say, yes, we've got a wonderful loyalty rewards program. Yes, it's there. When you fill up, there's something that pays you back. I mean, I get excited when, friends and family and business associates call me like, I'm putting in a full tank, I got enough. Okay, so please download the app. You can see those points instantly. But I think the most important thing was that you understand that we are in for the long haul. Sasol is a company that was born and bred here in South Africa. When you go to Secunda, when you go to Sasolburg, those are towns that economically have been raised due to what we've invested in there. But most importantly, what we've seen in townships and the growth of it and what some of our entrepreneurs are doing are beyond phenomenal. We've recently launched a new look and feel for our Sasol garages. The second site that we've built, actually it's a franchisee who basically invests, is out in Guyana. The first one was in Secunda. So when you see us putting money in Guyana, you must understand what that retailer's vision, the franchisee. So that's why investment in our townships. And sometimes I know my boss will say, please don't say Soweto is a township, it's a suburb now. Yes, that's what he says. Because maybe sometimes even the narrative we use, we end up boxing ourselves. When we should say, here are economic hubs. They just have different people from the next place. Just like there are small towns, rural towns, but because of people who may be creatives, they run restaurants, they have guest houses, they come together and they run that. And they pick up their own towns, whether you look at the little places like Graafrenet or Prince Albert. So we really are proud as Sasol to partner up, and I'm even more excited when my future co-colleague, Lizzie from Nedbank says, Zanele, let's sit down, let's talk about a bigger vision of how we take this organization to the next step to fulfill their vision and how we play part of that. And I think that's the real collaboration, and that's what this does. It opens those opportunities. So thank you very much to the T organization and the rest of the team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. So, now we get to announcing the winner. Lizzie, please can you come on stage? All right, in no particular order, I would like to call up Nicole Lowe, who was one of our finalists as well, to come and get her certificate of participation. It's for you, yeah? Okay. That's it, right in the middle. Let me Come on, let's put our hands together one more time for Nicole Lowe. Thank you, you can have a seat. The next up, Nkululeko Stabiso Mbata from Kobiso Capital. Please, can you come, my brother? One more time, let's put our hands together for Nkululeko. Rent a fridge. Then we have Winston Letwaba from Advanced Academy of Excellence. Winston, please come, my brother. One more time, round of applause for Winston. Winston, our tutor. Yandani Mdolomba from Y&M Services. Please come, my brother. One more time, round of applause for Oyandani. Last but not least, we have Banele Moy from Easy Tax. Anele, Banele. It's banele, not anele. Let's put our hands together one more time for banele. And then we have Sita Lita. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Sita Lita. Much appreciated, Siyabonga ba. All right. Zanele, please can you join us back on stage for the announcement of the winner? So I'm gonna need you to, like, on my left and right, next to me. Okay. All right, and then Sia, please can you come, my brother, the speakers. Bandile, please come. Our judges as well. If you were one of the judges for the pitching competition, please can you come on stage? All right, we have come to that moment, ladies and gentlemen, where we will announce the winner. The winner will walk away with the grand prize of 50,000 Rand. It's a blend, it's a support to it, and I know it will take the business to the next level. So I need to get the biggest drum roll, or table roll, or come on, Mother World, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the pitching competition, walking away with the grand prize of 50,000 Rand is Winston Litwaba from Advanced Academy of Excellence. Winston went straight to the judges. Winston, quickly, while you're still here. Winston, come here, quickly, while you're still here. What does this mean to you? How is this going to help your business?
This means so much to me. That 2 minutes was very short. I've got a very long story about it. Essentially, I was in high school. My parents told me, go become a teacher. You're too brilliant at this. I told my mom, I have big dreams. I want to be a marine biologist. Years down the line, they passed away. I established the company. It's flourishing now. It's a calling. It's not just an idea. So beyond the grave, I'm sure they're celebrating right now.
Please continue with the judges.
Come on, Mother World, one of your own. No way, no. One of your own. Winston, please can you take center stage, my brother? Can we get a bit closer? So, closer? Yeah. All right. Please can we look straight into that camera? Camera? There it is. Straight into that camera. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us Bashayele Nizanda. Thank you so much. I would like to stay with our winner on stage. Thank you to You can't believe it. Congratulations, my brother. What we are going to do now. So, come through, my brother. Come through. We're going to take a group photo. Right? With the hands up. Our camera, please come through. Please can everyone stand? Come through, my brother. You can be right here. Yeah, stand right here. Please go stand just in the middle there.
kalabi koko, oh kalabi koko, iya kalibi koko, iya kalibi koko.
Thank you, Manuel. Shailene Izanda, give yourselves a round of applause. No, we haven't taken the photo. One last time. All right, so please just follow my instruction. I need your hands up. I need your hands up. Give us your best smile. When I say hashtag, you say join us for tea. Hashtag. Ah, come on. I can't hear you. Hands up here. 1, 2, 3, hashtag. 1, 2, 3, hashtag together, Bekelibeke, hashtag. Hashtag together, Bekelibeke. Give yourselves a round of applause. Shailene Izanda, thank you. You can have a seat. We took you to church on a Saturday. Yeah, you can have a seat, my brother. That's yours. That's yours. I can't get any accounting, but they are. All right, so one last announcement. There were 5 individuals. 2 of you shared who you're going to do business with. I remember it's you, my brother. Yeah? Please come on stage. And then it's the lady in the black. Oh, sorry. Anyway, but you're going to come up because you shared what you learned. So come through anyway. Come, my sister. Come. One more gentleman in the black. Come through. You know what they say about success and opportunities, ne? That at times it favors the brave. Because you are like, no, I also want to share. Hey, but maybe you are zotin. So because you were brave and you shared, we have a prize for you. Cecil, our fuel partner, passionate about fueling entrepreneurs, is going to give you a reward to every single one of you. Every single one of you will be getting a Cecil Rewards card that has got 500 Rand worth of fuel for every single one of you. Cecil fueling township entrepreneurs. This is what it's about, right? Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give Cecil a massive round of applause. Thank you, Cecil. We love you. We appreciate you. And Zanele, please come on stage again. No, we've got the cards for you. So let's hand out the cards and. Even with us to don't worry, you can fool us all. Zanele, please come in the middle. Can we look straight into the camera, Ray? Cheese. Cecil. Thank you so much. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Siyabulela kakhulu. Thank you to every single one of you. Please do make sure that you go to the back so that they can assist you, get your details, and on my right hand side, get your details so that my sister, Siswam, please stand. All right, two more announcements and then we close. When we come into a township, we want you to tell us who we must bring and what we must bring. Because at the end of the day, it's about you, right? Right? We want to create an amazing experience for you. Maybe any topic that you want us to talk about, let us know so that we can create that experience for you. Because it's about you. So what we've done is that you'll check our phone and we've sent you a link. If you haven't received the link, it's only going to take you about 2 minutes, that link. Just give us your feedback. What did you enjoy? What can we improve on? What were your takeaways? So that when we come back, the experience is on another level. The lady, Jacqueline, please raise your hand. If you haven't received the link, please see Jacqueline. Nyancela, please, please, please do not go without having filled in that link so that you give us the feedback and we come back and we give you a great experience, right? And then, YouTube, Facebook, the whole session for today, from 10 o'clock up until what's the time now? I think it's close to 2? Past 2? Okay. The whole session from 10 up until the time it is now is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So you can go back and watch again. The entire presentations from Ubandile to Bilisa, incredible. Our presentations, all of them today, will be uploaded. So subscribe on YouTube, follow us on T so that you know when we come back. Because some of you have said, but we didn't know that you were coming. You understand? So we want to give you that information. And then to our online audience, we want to say big, big thank you. We've had people who have been with us since like 10 Xeni, just watching online from wherever you are. We appreciate you. We love you. Continue doing the business online. Let's give our online audience massive, massive round of applause. We thank you to our online audience and we appreciate you. Now we are heading to lunch.